Hi everyone, welcome back. Name's Matthew McKenzie. Welcome back again to my mental health channel. From a carer's perspective, I do quite a few videos from a caregiver or carer's experience in just caring for someone close, suffering from mental health issues or mental illness, one could say. Now this is another collaboration video. I've started doing these with those with lived experience or those who've gone through the mental health issues that I sometimes present upon with them, which I think is usually the best way, because who's better to ask than someone who's gone through that particular mental illness. So on this particular video I've collaborated with someone called I think Psychopathic Sociopath. I hope I got that right. That's the name of her channel. And she started to do a lot of videos now, basically what it's like in experiencing depression and anxiety. So with the others I did before, alright, it was just maybe one, maybe two or three, well, maybe mostly one mental illness that that person has gone through. This one, our poor friend has been hit by two, which is depression and anxiety. Now I'm not sure what caused that, but what I would like you to do at some point is do check out her channel. I'll sort of remind you at the end, and if you've got anything that's on your mind after what we've talked about, because she'll be talking about helping someone with depression or anxiety or both, as I'm going to also do as well, then you might want to comment about it or like the video or subscribe. Maybe you could always dislike, I hope you don't. But yeah, anyway, what I want to do is just introduce you to her. So she's going to give you how to sort of try and help someone coping with depression, and I'm going to follow that up.
Hi, so this video is a collaboration with Matthew from A Caring Mind. This video topic is about, I'm going to talk really fast. This video topic is about the importance of talking to someone with depression and anxiety and how to do it. I want to stress this is a very, very, very important, and this is a really big topic to me, but it's very important because when people say to leave them alone, sometimes they don't always mean it, and they wish you'd stay. No matter how many times they try to push you away, they want you to stay. That's often the case, at least with me and the people I see, when someone says leave me alone, in the sense of like they're depressed or they're crying in a corner because someone just said something mean to them kind of thing. You should not leave them alone. That could be different, and I don't want to say that definitely because it could be different, but to the best of my knowledge, when you leave someone alone is when it gets a lot worse, when they're actually alone. So how to do it? Talking to someone with depression is different depending on what the trigger was, or if there was a trigger in general. I think the biggest topic I'm going to talk about is talking to someone who tells you that they're having, or that they have had, or that they're having suicidal thoughts is a big, big deal. To talk to them and how to do it, because that could save someone's life one day.
So okay, she gave some really brilliant tips there. Sometimes it's not always as easy as you think. It takes a while when you are trying to care for someone or support someone going through depression, and there's different types of depression. So you've got to remember, I'm not a mental health professional. If you really want to get down to the grips with basically what depression is and how to help someone with that, seek the professionals. I'm just doing this because I just find it absolutely interesting. But I don't want to go on too long about this. I mean, I want to just jump straight into it. How can you help someone, going through depression? And as I said, I agree with exactly what she said. She's been through depression, she's been through anxiety. But for me anyway, the most simplest and most common thing you want to do is just be there for them. As if you're caring for anyone, whether it's depression, an eating disorder, self-harm, bipolar. If you're being there for them, then you're carrying out the role of a caregiver or carer because you're there. You're there because you care. The next one, I suppose, is ask them basically. How are you? What's on your mind? Do you want to talk about what's on your mind, or do you just want to talk? Sometimes it doesn't have to be talking about what they're going through. This is things that I've spotted and I've asked around and looked what people are gaming, and even if you're talking about what happened on TV the other day, at least that person who's going through depression, their mind is diverted away from what is trying to grab them back in through the throes of depression. You also got, when they do talk, when someone is talking, if, considering that they're going through depression, the most important thing to do is just listen. And it's not just listen, you've got to try and listen actively. Not an easy thing to do because, our minds do wander. No one's perfect, and I don't expect anyone to be perfect, but it does help if you try and listen and listen actively and respond carefully when they do ask you for your opinion on something. This one is not an easy than the next one. Avoid assumptions about someone you may think might not be suffering depression, or they might be suffering depression. What you want to do is second guess what someone's going through. Don't assume that person is okay at that point in time. They might not be. Depression, I suppose, is one of the most, it's almost a silent killer, the way, if you look at the behavior of someone with depression. Because my guess, I suppose, is that when you're in the grips of depression, you're not going to be the most liveliest person around. You're not going to speak and say, I am suffering with depression all the time. You're going to be really silent. You're going to be withdrawn. You're just not going to have the energy. So don't assume. A good one, I suppose, the next one, I suppose, is, ask them, how can you help? You ask them for their opinion. It's not the most stupid question. How can you help? If they tell you that, I'm feeling really low and I don't know what to do. Remember, there is probably 9 to 12 types of depression. So, what I'm saying here, what myself and what she's saying, it's not a one shoe fits all policy. It can be tricky. And the last thing I want to say about trying to help someone with depression, if you're a carer or caregiver, or just a friend or neighbour, is what you're doing now is you're learning about depression. That's probably one of the most important things you can do. Obviously, there's going to be stuff out there that might not apply, but if you're learning about it, it's just making to the point that you are trying to get an idea of what you're trying to deal with. So anyway, that's my bit on depression. What I want to do now is pass you on to what she's got to say about anxiety, because remember, she's been through both these things. So let's see what she's got to say.
So I think talking to someone with anxiety is different because it's more of trying to calm them down. Because with depression, you can try to make someone happier, but with anxiety, you can really do more when they're actually having an anxiety attack or when they're scared of doing something specific, than when it's just overall they tell you that they have anxiety. I do have both depression and anxiety, and I think the best thing to say to someone who tells you that they're having suicidal thoughts would just start off with, I care about you, kind of thing. And even if you don't say that, because a lot of times they can tell when it's not real. Like, they can tell if you're lying about caring just because they said that. So it's best to really tell the truth if you care about them, or if you don't. And I mean, I hope you do. If anyone tells you that, I hope you care about them, because they must really trust you. But I think another thing to say would just start off with was, is there anything going on in your life I can help with? Just make them feel like you really want to help. I mean, hopefully you really do want to help, but make them feel like you really want to help and make them understand that. And then if someone just tells you they're depressed or self-harming or anything like that, a great place to start with is there anything I can help with? What's going on that makes you like that in your life? And another point of it would be, are you okay? How can I help you? Who have you told about this? That kind of thing.
Well, it's brilliant. I'm really glad that we collaborated on this one. I'm going to now speak a bit about trying to help someone with anxiety. And some of it's quite similar, really. I mean, these are the basic things. Again, I've mentioned before, ask how you can help them. Anxiety obviously is different from depression. But if someone's going through anxiety and they want you around, and they might say to them, that's how you can help me, I just want you to be there, then you know you're doing your role as a carer or a caregiver. That is that role. Be there. When they say be there, that means be there. Try and spend time with them, because with anxiety, some people can be afraid. They just don't want to be in this situation. They want you to say, oh, this person is out for me. The good thing, which I forgot to mention with the depression part, is that you should try and encourage them to, not all the time, don't pressure them, but encourage them to try and seek some help, because if someone's in severe depression or they end up in that way and there's a risk that it could get really worse, then you don't want them to end up in that situation, because it could end up self-harm, suicidal thoughts. It's really difficult to sort of know where it could end up. First place is not to speak to someone on the phone, a professional. Over here in the UK, it could be the Samaritans, especially if someone's feeling suicidal. But usually the most common point is, look, go and see a doctor. If you can get a referral to a mental health professional, even better. So encourage them to seek help. And try and be patient with the person. It's not like you can just say a specific thing to them and it's going to be okay for that day. It can be trying for a carer or a caregiver trying to help someone or their loved one go through a mental health disorder. Sometimes, I suppose, some depressions clear up really quickly, but there's different types of depression. There's depressions that can be really challenging, and I mean not just challenging for the person going through it, but for the friends, the family, those that really want to try and help. And when I say care or caregiver, I'm talking about the ones who are unpaid. They're not a care worker. We're talking about friends, we're talking about family, neighbours, those that are very close to the person. And the last one is very important, just also for if you're trying to help someone with depression, anxiety, in fact any type of illness, any type of mental illness. Look after yourself. You don't want to be the next person picking up a mental health disorder, because it can be really challenging. One thing I do disagree with, what I've heard, is that mental illness is only specific for the person going through mental health problems. Mental health does not discriminate. If you don't look after yourself, it's a risk. You can, and often it is the case, the carer will become depressed. They can become anxious, and if they don't look after themselves, they cannot help the person who is going through that vulnerable state of mind. Well, anyway, I'd like to say thank you for watching this video. As I said, anything that strikes your mind, whether you agree or disagree with us, we'd like to hear from your views. Please comment, subscribe if you like a video, subscribe to her channel. She's only just started talking a bit more about mental health, because it takes a while for someone to open up and reach out, and there's always a risk that someone on YouTube could be really nasty, like trolls, and I will do a video about that one day. But anyway, I'd like to wish you a good mental health journey. If you're a carer, a good carer, caregiver journey. I'll see you again soon. Thanks for stopping by, and take care. Look after yourself.